Hey, welcome back. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Wow. Hey, welcome back. Oh, sitting there silent for too long. Hope everybody's doing well today. Let's see. Let's get to our stuff. Supergiant. So today we will go over our design practice, and then we're going to look at how to create some texture in Illustrator, thought processes, what we can do to do that. It shouldn't be that long of a lecture today, as they never really are on the second day. Again, make sure you do your attendance. Attendance is due today for the class for the week. Hit continue. What is tracking in typography? Adjusting the spacing across a range of characters. That's what it is. Tracking. Think of it as walking. Like, you know, when somebody's tracking somebody for walking and they look at the steps and it's the distance of those steps. Letting is the space between the lines. So adjusting the spacing across the range of characters is what tracking is. You can also just simply copy and paste these into Google, and it will give you the answer. So there you go. Make sure you take care of that. With the video lectures up from Tuesday, mid-session project review. You can use that if you need to. Please do. I am more than happy to look at those and answer those and take care of those. Please, please do. I use them. I check them every day. All right. We know Tuesday's assignment is the research finding examples. We went over that. The texture in the textbook. Too many T's there. I'll go over the design elements texture project in a second, but I will first start with the design practice. The design practice is back to Illustrator as we're switching back and forth. In this one, again, there'll be missing things from the project. I'm going to go and I'm going to open up that folder. That folder creates a zip file. That zip file for Apple users, you double click. For PC users, you right click. This is something I want to say to everybody out there. If you're like looking to get a computer, you want to get a computer, you don't have to get an Apple computer. They're expensive. You can get a PC. I work on a PC at my house. I can't personally afford an Apple, computer. They run the same. There's just the only thing different is the operating system and the price. So if you're like, think because I'm going in the graphic design and I have to get a Mac, that is 100% wrong. You can get whatever kind of computer you want as long as it runs the Adobe Creative Suite. So like, I don't think like Chromebooks might not, but just putting that out there because I say both. And when you come in and if you talk to people like, you must get an Apple if you're in graphic design. No, you don't. Absolutely not. I actually prefer my PC. I prefer working on them. I use Apple here at work. And when I'm at home, I use a PC. So it doesn't matter what you use. I know I say that a lot. And then I hear students are like, oh, I have to save up for Apple. I'm like, no, you don't have to. So get what you need. And later on, when you get a full-time job as a graphic designer, then you get your Apple computer or the company will buy you one. So, all right, enough waffling there. Let's open up Art Sims and see what's missing, what we need to work on. Oh, looks like the photo's missing. Looks like the examples are missing. So let's start placing those in. As we know, we're getting really good at this. I'm going to go up to this top. I locked all of my layers, right? Lock them all, except for examples. I see I have 3 examples that I need to place in. So I'm going to go to File, Place, and I'm going to go find out where I downloaded. I downloaded the downloads. There's that folder. There's the links again. And I'm going to just click and drag and grab example 1, 2, 3 all at the same time. And then I'm going to tap once, tap twice, tap a third time. I'm going to make sure I have my select tool. I'm going to click and drag all 3 And then underneath, for me, underneath, I'm going to go to the scale tool, or you can press S, but I want to be able to double click on that scale tool because this is just going to speed up a process. And I'm going to type in 25 and hit OK. What that does is just makes all three images 25% smaller, and it makes them quicker to work on. So instead of me going, finding a corner, shrinking it down, moving this, moving that, all I have to do is make sure I have all three, double click on the scale, go to 25%, and here they're in a more manageable size. That's why I do that. When you're working and you're working in these programs, you start to try to find what can I do to like speed up my processes. That's why using the keyboard and always having your hand on shift, option, control, like all those, copy, paste, which is Command C, Command V, anything to keep you from having to go up to the top, find things. And you just have to like set it in your mind. Some people print it. I'll show you that here. Adobe Illustrator. Oops, I'm just typing it in. I'll show you. Shortcuts. They make a PDF. So Adobe makes even a PDF that has all of these. One for Windows, one for Mac. And that's what it is. And I think I may have shown you this before. For a while, I used to have this printed and by my desk until and then I'd highlight the ones I knew I needed the most, not all of them. Because there's some I'd never use. Like I never use the pencil. I never use the scissors. I never, like there's things you don't have to memorize, but you memorize the ones that are used by you the most. So that's what we're trying to do when we design is what can I do to speed up so I can get my creativity still going out and lessen that time where I'm doing the technical, like where do I find this? How do I do this? How do I do that? Now for these, I'm going to line them up. I want them all centered because I want them eventually to be about the same size, and I can do that as well. I'm going to reduce these to here. Now what I can do is find one and be like, this is the perfect width. So my width is 1.45. So if I select on this and I change this to 1.45 and hit return, it should be linked. Oh, I want to undo that. So this is at 1.45. I want to make sure it's linked. See how here it's not? So if I typed in 2, it does that. See how it made Jungle Fever too wide? So you click on this, and this is what it does. It's called links. It links these. And so if I make one change here, 1.45, and hit return, it will constrain it. It's like holding down shift. And that's something I do, but then I turn it off a lot. So I'm going to click on this one, and I want that at 1.45 as well. This is where like the magic of the computer and getting very precise measurements helps. And because I don't always use it, I'm going to make sure I unlock that. That means they're no longer linked. So now all my images are exactly the same size or width. They can be different heights. And I can stack them and lock them together. Do a little bit more moving and get them in place. What I just did is they're all selected. So I'm going to move this one up. And if I get them, all that they're touching, there might need some overlap, which is fine. I can make them all a little bit bigger as well. I'm going to hold down Shift and pull that. Come on. It's the giant. There we go. the giant cursor for you to all see. All right, so the examples are in. And then we have some room to move them if need be. There's a little bit of overlap. See that? See how there's that double line there? There's just a tiny bit of overlap, but that's fine because I want the edges to be perfect. And then that gives us some room to move. I will get, while we're on that, I'm going to get the photo of Art Sims. File. Place. Art Sims photo. Place it in. I'm going to do that thing where I double click on that, hit return, makes it smaller, easier to use right away. And then I can place that in and hold down Shift and scale it. And let's put it back underneath. See how it's underneath? That's why the photo is underneath the examples, is I have some of it hidden to create that effect. Now we just go down the line. Let's do the title. Move that into place. Oops. Why didn't? Oh, there it goes. Dude, this computer is getting glitchy. Get the Sims in there. Now, don't forget that there's three gray blocks and body copy, but I'm going to move my body copy first. I'm just going down the line from top to bottom. I'm going to get this moved into place. Let's get this moved into place. And again, if you need to, use those arrow keys. Arrow keys for fine adjustments. Then I go to the backgrounds. I have a dark gray. And again, I'm going all the way to that bleed. Just like we're supposed to. Now I'm going to check this. See, I'm going to zoom in. And I want that to touch. And then I'm going to go up to my examples. And I'm going to pull this poster down to there. It's the meeting of the four corners. Look how clean that is. You can only do that if you zoom in. And I'm going to bring this one in. And I'm going to tap it up with my arrow key. I'm going to zoom into that corner. And I got a little space there. I'm going to tap up one more. That's a little much. I just held down Shift and I brought it down, but it works better. The more you zoom in, the more accurate it gets. And then I'm going to put in my yellow background. And then as normal, let's open this up. We save the file and then we make a PDF, export as a PDF. So we go File, Save As, get your name in there, JSKAJA. 2, I'm going to save it to my desktop. Okay, then I'm going to do a File, Export, Export As. This is just the smallest file size one. Export, press quality. Actually, I just know my small, which is client. Export. It's going to open it up. There we go. Perfect, perfect. Just learning the nuances of the programs that we use. In case you've never used them, I know some of you are in some other courses of mine. All right. So that's the design practice. Now the texture. You have to create texture using Illustrator, or you need to display it in some sort of way. You have 3 sets, and I want you to do 3 out of these, and you're going to do a comparison. So when I open this, that's disconcerting. This back in the day was known as the spinning wheel of death. Oh, turn on text. Oh. Well, the text boxes are there for you to type in what you need to type in. So text boxes, And what this is supposed to say rough. So there's a text box under each one where you can just type right in what you choose. So that's rough, and then this one is smooth. I updated these and didn't realize I took off the text. Now, dude, I don't know what the system's going for. Slow. So rough, a billion little lines, right? Smooth. You know what I did for smooth? Is I looked up kind of like cartoon stuff. I'll come back to it. And I was like, what? Think of cartoons. And I was like, a cartoon mirror. This is literally what I typed in. And I looked at what they did. And I kind of did my version of that. All right. And now that was a cyan background with a little star on it. It's just colors, and it helps show what that is. Now, I was thinking about this, and sometimes the easier way, I think what I would like you is when you look at those words, smooth, rough, soft, hard, soft and hard, soft and hard. How do I illustrate soft and hard? Let's do that. So sometimes just grab a pencil, grab a Post-it, grab a piece of paper from your house, draw a little square. And if I go with soft and hard, what do I feel like? Soft is this. Big, like you could just kind of like repeat these. And what would hard be? Hard would maybe, like be. And then if, you can add, like embellish this a bit, like, or you could simply, and do like a light blue background, like cotton ball. And then like the hard is like, if I add like just like little things here, that could be hard or jagged. Think of a cliff, stuff like that. What do you think of when you think of these things? Organic versus geometric, like that's an easy one, but like how can you push it? Like organic, of course, if I do like, what is like a beautiful, like do like organic shapes, and I can have them like interlinked. So like, just like amoebas. Because like this is how you get your ideas out. It's much faster for me to sit here and make a bunch of drawings than it is to go in Illustrator and try to think, I know what I want, how do I do it? If I do it here, I have a visual representation right away. And then like, if I put like little shiny marks. Kind of embellish. And I know like, okay, if I can bring this into Illustrator and draw on top of it. And then that's like organic and geometric is going to be kind of, I want more like abstract. I'm trying to think if there's something better I could do. Yeah, just kind of like, I just don't want a single. Oh, you know what? I know. I I don't know if I can do it. I know I can do it. But like, what if I do this one? This is just a repeating pattern. And then it's, you know what I mean? The Kubert cubes. So like organic, geometric, what else can I do? I kind of like that. Liquid solid, texture flat. Texture is just like, you could use the brush tool and just be like, just make hundreds. And again, I'm going to bring this into Illustrator. So if I do this, it makes it look like fur or texture. And then the flat is this is like, I can make it look like wood, you know, some wood boards. Now I have this, and if I just hit file save, or I take a picture of what I drew, you can just bring that into Illustrator. So if that's in Photoshop, and I draw, just because I draw in Photoshop, I can take it everywhere with me, and that's what I do. So we have the two, and if I go to your artwork here, and now I'm going to go to File, Place, and I can place, and I just have to find it because it's placed from cloud storage for me. And this is 103. This is the drawings, and I hit place. I have my starter. Oops, didn't mean to do that. And so if I want to do the organic one, I just make that box bigger to kind of fit it. And I'm just going to trace on top of it. Now for this, I'll use the pen tool. Wow, my spacing was almost perfect for that. That's weird. All right. So I can lock my image so I don't move it. So I'm going to make sure it's selected, the image. I'm going to go to Object, Object, Lock, Selection. And then I'm going to take the pen tool, or you could use the blob. You could use the blob brush or the pen tool. I'll do a little bit of both. The blob brush, let's pick a color. Green. And you can just paint these shapes. Now, if you double click the blob brush, make sure there's going to be a slider, and it may be here. If you crank it to smooth, then it'll be really smooth. And then I can go here, kind of fill that in. Now I'm working on that correct layer. So I can go beyond and it fills it in. If I did the pen tool, you can click and drag around. It's whatever you're most comfortable with. And we're going to just, what can you do to emulate that texture from those words? And it is best to just kind of start and be like, sketch it out. Don't start on the computer. We all jump to the computer. Like, take a second, think about it, sketch it out. Like, this is the part of the process where I would sit in front, like all the major stuff is done. And I'm like, I have this project and I got to come up with ideas for it. I don't necessarily like sit down and at a desk and work on it. Sometimes my best kind of working is end of the day and I could grab a piece of paper and sit in front, you know, of the TV, and we're just watching something, and I'll just make a square and be like, smooth, and draw something and do another one and then do another one and then do another. And then it's more about having fun with it than it is like, oh, I got to get this project. Let's add some shine to those, eh? And yeah. So then if I take my image, object, unlock all, and I can move it out of there, there's organic. Now for the geometric one, I can do the same thing. Object, lock. I'm just locking my visual image because why fuss and fight over it? Now I'm going to make a square. Let's fill it with black and no stroke. Remember, the computer does what it was told last time. Make sure you're checking all those things. Now this, I should be able to smush. Oh no, it doesn't smush like that. No. I don't know the best way to get a diamond. Thought there was going to be an auto way. So I'm going to do this. And I'm going to clean it up. My clean it up, I want things, because once I have this one done, it'll be good. But see how the center is here, but my center mark isn't? So I'm just going to drag this over using the pen tool. And I want to get it perfectly centered. I can even drag a guide. And that's pretty close. Now, if I take this and I flip it upside down, I kind of get that shape. And then I think the key is you can do this. Oh, not perfectly. Doesn't quite fit. I'll just redraw that though. But what I will do is hold this, bring that there. Now I can delete point, and then I can start with that. And I want to make sure that this gets perfect too. Always, you can zoom in. You can have things overlap as well. For these, I want to join these into one. I'm going to use this tool. It is called the Shape Builder. And I'm just going to draw through these two. And it made that one shape. Now I can take this shape and I can copy and paste it. And I just need to mirror it. So if you go under the scale tool, there's something called the reflect tool. And if I double click that, it will make that, it will reflect it, mirror it. And I can pull that in there. These are a little more that if you've been taking, if you're in my Illustrator class or you've taken Illustrator or you're taking it, this is, you're learning these steps. If it's new to you, play around and try some stuff. Ask me questions. So I'm going to make this fill like here. We'll do this fill here and this fill here. Nope. There we go. Now, if I repeat those, I'm going to get rid of this. And I should be able to, I can group this. So grouping takes those 3 objects and glues them together to make one object of 3 parts. And then I can copy and paste and just assemble them. And you can do a bunch. And if you're like, I'm tired of that, then you take these 3, object, group, copy and paste. And I know that like you may be like, really? That seems ridiculous. Because then I'm going to take these, I'm going to group them, and I copy and paste. Now I was able to do that with just the key controls, the key commands. And then that's like the way we do it. And then I can just group and copy and paste the final time. You know, like all I'm doing, that's all we're doing until it's all filled. I got one more to do. I can delete some of these. So you go to object, ungroup, and I don't need object, ungroup. And I can actually take these and bring them down to the bottom. And there's a cool little pattern. You can do, and then again, we take off the background, object, unlock all, and the background goes away. I got rid of these 2. Oh, I kind of like it with that open space there. That's funny. Do some over here. The clouds, you know, the sharp points, the clouds, the roughness, use that little blob brush. Let's do fill the black. And you just go vary it, you know. Another thing you do, like you do a ton. All right, so I just was clicking and dragging. Then I'm going to take this. I'm going to copy and paste it. And I did enough that like you're trying not to see a pattern. Right? So I have that. But I can do more. So I'm going to group this. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to take my blob brush and I'm going to make the size smaller. And I'm going to do the same thing, but what I'm going to actually do is I'll show you. I'm going to do the same black thing again. And I'm just clicking and dragging. Well, there's a long one in there, but that's fine. I'm going to do this 3 times. I'm going to do about half, right? I'm going to copy and paste it or drag it down. This one, remember I just talked about that flip thing? Let's flip it. I'm going to grab these and group it. And then I'm going to do it one more time. And then you get, this is like, you can do whatever you want. You can pull this. And let's do it one more time, but I'm going to try to do longer lines. No rhyme or reason. They can crisscross, they can do whatever, but this is just like different longer lines. And I'm just going to be doing what we're called layering. I'm going to layer a pattern. So I did about half, copy, paste. I'm going to flip it. The reason I flip it is it makes the eye not see that necessarily that there's a pattern. Like right down the middle there, that's kind of, however I happen to do that. I don't like it, but whatever. Now I'm going to group this. I'm going to zoom out. So I have 3 different textures, and I can go to my file. I'm going to turn off that eyeball, and I'm going to do a background for rough. I'm going to do dark green. And then I'm going to send that to back. Object, arrange, send to back. So just like layers are pieces of glass, on one layer, you have pieces of glass. And I wanted to make sure that that piece is all the way at the back. So when I take this and I bring it on top, and then I can go to that fill and I will do a different green. And I'll take this one, make it that size, and I'll do this fill as this green, and I'll do this and make it small. Now I need to zoom in because I grabbed the wrong one. Now I grab those, and I make it this green. Is that the same? This green. So that can be my rough. Now, here's the crazy part. Not rough enough for you? I'm going to lock here in my layers. I open up. I'm going to lock that background one. I'm going to grab all three. I'm going to copy and paste. And I'm going to turn it upside down. And now I have like a super rough, grassy texture. It's just all about playing. Play around. What do you think of? Like, I don't want objects per se. I don't want you drawing like I don't want objects. I want that texture. I want you to try to get texture across, not an object per se, but I want you to do your best in emulating textures, and you can pick anything out of this bunch, and do your best at illustrating it. How would you convey texture to somebody when they look at it? Would they think, oh, that's rough? Like, I get that. I wouldn't want to touch that. Or is that soft? This is organic, or is this, liquid? Liquid versus solid. Some of these overlap. You'll notice that. So do your best. See what you come up with. Play around. Spend some time on it, and you should do a good job. Any questions, comments, or concerns about this? All right, cool. Well, you know how to get a hold of me. We are back on track, rock and rolling. So if I don't talk to you on the discussion boards, I will see you on Tuesday, back in action. Sounds good. All right. Let me know if you need anything. I'm here to help. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.